Before the game, you expected some guys to go up in role and minutes, and clearly, Talen had some higher usage tonight. Just wondered what you saw from him, and if anything else stood out about the guys that had more time.
Yeah, Talen was great tonight. Really just had a look about him. That he was going to attack this game and play with a great deal of determination. Put more pressure on the paint on the rim than than we've seen in a lot of our games this year. Just the downhill nature of his game was really good. But he's a guy that's got to, he's at his best. The best fit for him is with the ball in his hands, with shooters around him. And, we haven't been able to create that type of role for him, but you can see what he can do, when he has that type of setting. So, really proud of his performance tonight.
Just looking at the whole season with him, is that something that's been difficult considering LeBron and Russ, Malik to an extent? Even Kendrick didn't play, but all of the ball handling. And how did you deal with that as a coach?
Yeah, it's something that as a coach you have to try to make those pieces fit. And it's he and Russ together haven't been great because they're both at their best with the ball in their hands. And it's just one of those things with Russ out. Talen was able to do what he did tonight. But that's just something that as a coach you have to figure out ways to make those things fit.
Frank, just along those lines, what were your, obviously Talen got the contract in the summer and that obviously brings expectations. How did you view him coming into this year and then, where were sort of the growing pains, I guess, and kind of having gone through that, is for him, can this moment be sort of a building block into next year and beyond?
Yes, I do think it can be a building block. And, this is why we signed him, to the extension, and why we believe in him. The key is trying to get, this type of efficiency, / production, when he doesn't have the ball in his hands, with some of the other vets out there. So, part of his growth and development. Really positive night for him.
Frank, coming into the year, considering Talen's age and his frame, there was discussion from you to us of how you thought that he could be a stopper on your team. How do you feel like he acquitted himself to that role, and where is he now as a defender versus where he was in training camp?
Yeah, I don't think he's quite at the level that we consider him a stopper, but I do think he's grown this year with some of how we execute our defensive coverages, and he's just a year ahead of where he was last year, but still has a ways to go.
Frank, Malik had 4 assists tonight, and over the past month or so, he's had a lot of these games with 4, 5, 6 assists. What type of improvement have you seen him as a passer and a playmaker?
Yeah, I think he's improved steadily throughout the year. Our assistant coaches do a good job of working with these guys on a daily basis with their reads. He is someone with his skill set, the ability to shoot the three and force long closeouts, and to get downhill. He's got a downhill burst like Talen. Where you can put pressure on the paint, put pressure on defense, and we just ask him to make the right reads, when he gets there. And something that I do believe that he's shown a lot of growth throughout the year, from where he was last year in Charlotte, in and out of the lineup to being a key player for us this year. So our starting backcourt had 64 points, if I'm adding that correctly. A hell of a night for those two guys.
The Lakers are back at home on Friday.